Will Jason Todd's new home in the Hill end up being swallowed up by gang war? Not if he has anything to say about it. Let's hop into the pages of Red Hood issue number 52 and find out what happens next together, shall we? So then, picking up directly from where the last issue left off, Red Hood and Strike, the leader of a group of sports-themed vigilantes, were caught in a massive explosion at the God Mode store. This brazen bombing attack was actually part of a much bigger power play by fashion designer and rapper turned wannabe supervillain Thomas Meisel, who was taken to calling himself Tommy Max. Originally, Tommy had only sold clothes and shoes to the many gangsters of the Hill, but now he's decided to go into business for himself, and he's brought along a brand new partner in the form of Killer Croc. Croc makes short work of Tommy's enemies, including his former benefactor and I think implied lover, maybe, Demetrius, putting him in the hospital. It's the next day we actually see Jason do some rather interesting detective work. He, like the reader, is 90% sure that his old friend Dana is actually Strike, but he can't prove it just yet, so he decides to invite her out for breakfast at her family's restaurant. Their conversation at the table is really good too. Dana talks about all the good work that she's been doing as part of her neighborhood watch group, which we know is actually a front for the sport-themed vigilantes. Jason prods her about the injury on her arm that she sustained during the explosion, but she quickly manages to turn the subject about his own rocky relationship with Bruce Wayne. Before anyone can actually admit anything too damning, though, Dana's sister, the big new hotshot reporter, makes the scene. Nysa, the sister, has done pretty good for herself and moved out of the Hill, but continues to do a lot of very tabloid journalism about the area and just how dangerous it is, including the recent attacks by Tommy Max. We also discovered this issue that Nysa is very anti-vigilante and looks down on her sister and their neighborhood watch group, blaming them for their father losing his leg during the events of Joker War. Eventually, Dana does come clean to Jason about her double life, and we discover that the neighborhood watch decided to put on costumes and really up their game after Dana's father got hurt. And if you think that it was maybe a little fast that Dana admitted to Red Hood about her double life when up until now she was keeping it secret, you ain't seen nothing yet, because literally the whole second half of this issue goes at light speed. You see, Tommy Max and his ragtag crew of gangsters decide to kidnap Nysa, not liking how they're being portrayed in the media. Strike and her teammates end up giving chase all over the city, and it leads to a huge action set piece. How did they all suit up? How did they get out there so quick? I'm not sure. Jason, while all of this is going on, is dealing with Killer Croc, who's been tailing him this whole time. And you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, this is gonna lead to a big fight between Red Hood and Killer Croc, right? Only no, Croc fully admits to Jason that he's just the decoy, and that the real crimes are happening elsewhere right now. I will tip my hat, though, that Sean Martinborough did remember that Croc was in Arkham before this. Red Hood manages to catch up to Strike and her friends just around the time they're about to torture one of Tommy Max's captured henchmen, who, by the way, have decided to dress up like Croc themselves too for some reason. Red Hood steps on in and actually manages to get Strike to relent, which is interesting because wouldn't Red Hood normally be the first person to hop on in and torture someone? Character development's character development, I guess. Jason does, if nothing else, end up asking the important questions, and that is how the hell was Strike and her group able to get so good at fighting so quickly? Well, it seems they had a secret teacher, someone from the shadows. Which I know in DC Comics could literally mean 100 different people, but it's always good to have a bit of a mystery working in the background of your new ongoing series. Strike and Red Hood decide to team up to rescue Nysa, who currently right now is being held at the hands of Tommy Max, who wants her to read his manifesto. Nysa also manages to score some major points with me as a character by pointing out that Tommy Max's whole gimmick makes no sense. Wait, you dress like Killer Croc, but you're not Killer Croc, and you want to be taken more seriously as a villain, yet your whole aesthetic is just remixing stuff from other villains? Also, you're wearing a mask, but the mask is just your face with the word Gotham written across it. In classic superhero fashion, Red Hood and Strike end up crashing through the skylight and beat up Tommy Max very easily. In fact, he goes down after only one hit because he is now and always was a poser. But what about Killer Croc, though? Wasn't he involved in this? Well, as we discover, he was always planning to screw over Tommy Max and manages to trade back all the tech weapons that were stolen off Black Mask to Demetrius, the man who had stolen them all in the first place. I suppose at the end of the day, Waylon Jones really did just want a nice suit, and what a nice suit it is. As the comic winds down, Jason is back hard at work trying to fix up his new property, and he discovers that Batman actually left him a housewarming gift, showing that Bruce is still watching over him and still very much cares about him. Honestly, that's pretty damn sweet. And so that was Red Hood issue number 52, everybody, and wow, this felt like a 4-issue arc that was jammed into only 2 issues. Tommy Max declares himself the villain at the end of the previous story and is roundly defeated here at the end of the second one, proving that he really wasn't that much of a threat to begin with. The whole Dana as Strike mystery was also not much of a mystery at all. Most comic fans probably picked it out in the first couple pages, and here they dispense with it even quicker than they normally would in this kind of story. Then you got the wild card in all of this, Killer Croc, who was apparently smarter than everybody, but we don't really seem to know how or why he wanted to do what he did. None of this is particularly bad, it just feels so strangely rushed, like they were supposed to have more time, but then they just got it cut short. For what it's worth, I am still interested in these new characters that Martin Burrow has created and the world of the Hill as it relates to the rest of Gotham. I just hope the next arc can really take its time. Overall, I'd give this one a 7 out of 10. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.